Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Dave's Top 3,000 Songs of the Rock Era. Today I'm up to song number 2440, and that one is Dr. Feelgood by Mötley Crüe. This came out in 1989. Here's a picture of the single, and it was also released on their album called Dr. Feelgood. And here's a picture of the group Mötley Crüe around the time they recorded it. I'll get into them in a minute. First, I'm going to feature the sample of the song Dr. Feelgood and react to it. So here it goes. Okay, that's a sample of Dr. Feelgood by Mötley Crüe. You can tell it's a pretty intense heavy metal song. They were a heavy metal band, and it's about I guess it's about a cocaine dealer that they like, and they call him Doctor Feelgood because I guess he makes them feel good. Not for me. I've never used cocaine in my life, and I don't think I ever will. I hear it's a pretty horrible drug, and a lot of people die from it. So not for me. I'm not into hard drugs. But anyway, enough of that. Now I'm going to talk about the group Mötley Crüe. Let me go back to their picture. Yeah, they were from Hollywood, California. They formed in 1981. They were originally together from 1981 to 2002, but then they reunited in 2004, stayed together until 2015. Then they reunited again in 2018, and they're still together. And their original members, which I think are shown in this picture, included their two founding members, Nikki Sixx, he was on bass, and Tommy Lee on drums. And later they recruited Mick Mars on guitar and Vince Neil on lead vocals. So that was the original lineup of Mötley Crüe. Um, I'm not a huge heavy metal fan. I mean, I do kind of like some of their songs. They had some pretty big hits, and they're catchy. And I think as far as heavy metal goes, they're one of the better, at least in my opinion, one of the better heavy metal bands. Anyway, now I'm gonna go through their hits. In 1984, they had their first Billboard Hot 100 hit that was called "Looks That Kill." That went to number 54. I actually remember the video for that song. I used to watch MTV a fair amount when I was in college, and I was finishing up in 1984, and me and my friends used to watch MTV every evening, and they used to play that one, "Looks That Kill," quite a bit. Pretty provocative video, I remember it. And then later that year, they had Too Young to Fall in Love, which went to number 90. And then in 1985, they had a cover of a song originally by Brownsville Station. As a matter of fact, that's the song I featured yesterday, Smoking in the Boys' Room. That went to number 16, so that was the first top 40 hit. Later that year, they had a song called Home Sweet Home, which went to number 89. I believe that was another very popular video on MTV. And then in 1987, they had a song called Girls, 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 which went to number 12. Then later that year, they had You're All I Need, which went to 83. In 1989, they had the song I'm featuring today, Dr. Feelgood, which went to number 6. And later that year, they had Kickstart My Heart, which went to 27. In 1990, they had their second and final top 10 hit called Without You, which went to number 8. That's not to be confused with Without You by Nilsson, I believe, or yeah, which was a ballad. And then later that year, they had Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away, which went to number 14. And Same Old Situation, which went to 78. Finally, in 1991, they had another version of their song Home Sweet Home called Home Sweet Home 91. And that went to number 37. So those were the hits for Motley Crue. Like I said, not a bad heavy metal band. Very provocative, like most heavy metal. And by the way, I guess I should say one more thing about them. I think their music sounds almost exactly like the Scorpions. And I even remember I used to use American Online a lot. AOL. I used to play a lot of rock and roll trivia games. And I remember once I was playing a heavy metal trivia game, and the host was, giving us trivia about all these different heavy metal bands, and I think there were like two or three songs that I thought were by Motley Crue, but they were by the Scorpions. I don't remember what the songs were. I think one of them was No One Like You, which I thought was by Motley Crue because it kind of sounded like them. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. So that concludes my feature on Dr. Feelgood by Motley Crue. Thank you for watching. You guys rock, and I'll see you next time. Bye.